Hello again, everyone, and welcome into RedHawk Football Weekly, our weekly recap of Miami football as they drop a 31-26 decision at Minnesota against the Golden Gophers, and will host LIU in the home opener coming up this Saturday. Joining me, head coach Chuck Martin, and coach, a tale of two different halves. Miami trailing 21-3 at the break, came out and outscored the Golden Gophers in that second half, 23-10. Really made it a great game, and overall the effort. We talked last week on the show about the effort needing to be a little more intense and a little more focused, and I think maybe except for some of the first half, that was certainly the case for the RedHawks.
Yeah, our kids, like I said, week one, our kids played extremely hard. We didn't play smart at times, and Cincinnati took advantage of that. Saturday, same thing. We came out, our kids were ready to go, and they're playing really hard. The difference Saturday, you could tell early that the physical mismatches weren't there. Versus Cincinnati, there's times that we didn't cover, we couldn't tackle, we couldn't block, we couldn't protect, we couldn't get open more often. Minnesota game, you could tell right away, like, hey, we can block these guys, we can get open, we can run, we can throw. Defensively, we can control the line of scrimmage against a team that just ran the ball at Ohio State. Really had, their tailback had 170 yards in three quarters against Ohio State. Yeah. So we felt like, hey, we can control this line of scrimmage, we can cover these wideouts. So totally different game from the start, from my view on the sidelines. The disappointing thing is being down 21-3 at half. Our kids are playing really hard, and the whole locker room to me was, it's about third down defense, and it's about finishing some drives on offense. We're moving the ball and putting ourselves in position, but we got to sustain and finish and do the things necessary to get points on the board, which we did. And then defensively, I knew we could stop them. There's no doubt. I was watching the first half. There's no doubt we could stop them. We got them in third down. We got them in third down, and they out-executed us on third down. But there was things we knew they were going to do, and we should have been able to handle them on third down. So that's what we talked about at halftime. It's 21-3. It doesn't look great. The score looks like the game's not close, but this is a very close contest. Now we've dug ourselves a hole. We got to get stops on defense, and if you can get off the field on third down, you can get stops. So we got third down stops in the second half, and we stopped them. Their first three possessions, we stopped them cold. They had 15 yards, I think, in the third quarter. Mm-hmm. And then offensively, we finished drive. We drove down, got a touchdown. We drove down, got a field goal. We drive down, got a touchdown. You're sitting 21-20 with a lot of time left, and clearly have them now on their heels.
Right.
You're stopping them, that you've scored 3 straight possessions. And then that's when you got to bear down and finish the job. It's on the road. It's a Big Ten team. I get it, but we're in position to win a game. We lose leverage on the kickoff. Very disappointing. We have them dead to rights on the 21. We have 2 guys free to make a tackle, but 1 guy loses leverage. They get the ball out towards midfield. We don't stop them on defense. Then we throw a pick on offense, and now you're down 11 with 4 minutes, and all of a sudden what you had fought so hard to get back into, now you're back down 11 and you're scrambling again. We got a score to cut it to 5, but we didn't get back off the field on defense. So again, the physical effort was awesome. Mm-hmm. Our kids came and flew, and we were undersized. If you look at their front versus our fronts, we were undersized, but they weren't stronger than us. They weren't more physical than us. They didn't knock us around, even though we had smaller bodies out there. Our kids more than held their own. Execution was better in the first half than it was against Cincinnati, but it wasn't good enough. Execution in the second half was much better, and we started getting the results we needed to put ourselves in position to win a game.
You go back to the start of the game, and you open up, you get a pass to Jack Sorensen for 10 yards. You're moving the ball, 3rd down and 2 out at the 42. Brett tries to stretch out for that first down and fumbles the ball at the 42-yard line. First of 3 times on the day that you give the Golden Gophers a short field, and that was one of the issues, that they were playing from a short field. And that's a team that's designed to just pound away at you. So the field's position, I guess, doesn't matter, but it seemed like every time they got it on the short field, they were able to score. Yeah,
and it's a critical part. We need a yard for a first down. We got a quarterback sneak on. We don't get the center exchange. We never, center exchange on the quarterback in the center. It's not on one or the other. We don't get the center exchange between Rusty and Brett. Yeah. The ball's on the ground. Brett never had the football.
Had it. Okay.
So have a chance to get a first down and keep a drive alive. Minimally, if we don't get it, you're punting the ball. We had the ball out towards midfield. So again, set them up on a short field right away, and next thing you know, it's 7-0. Again, can't do that. 3 different times they had short fields. They got 17 points, but more importantly, we also got to be able to defend short fields because most of the time our offense does a good job of not turning the ball over and giving them. But not the way you want to start because you are moving the ball, you feel good, you got some first downs, you're right, and you get another first down, you fumble the ball right at midfield.
Yeah, they go down and score, make it a 7-0 ball game. It stayed that way until the second quarter, and you get your points on the board after a really nice drive. And your freshman kicker comes in, nails a 46-yarder, and not a bad way to start your Miami career for Graham Nicholson.
Yeah, he did a really good job on kickoffs. I think he had 4 touchbacks on kickoffs, came in. That drive was, again, really nice, but we had it down, I think, to the 19 before we started to go backwards. And, again, that's the drive. You got to finish that, make it 7-7, you know. But nice thing is we got some yards on third down. We kind of got out of field goal range. We got some yards on third down and then got us back into field goal range. And Graham Banks went home from 46 on his first college attempt. Pretty, like you said, pretty impressive way to start off. He's really talented. He's a very, very good kicker. I know he hasn't been here for more than a couple months, but I've seen enough kickers in my day to know he's very talented, and he stepped in and did a really nice job. So got us on the board, cut the lead to 7-3, and put us in good position early in the second quarter.
Yeah, Minnesota goes down and scores on their next drive, and really their longest drive of the day, some 89 yards to finally get the touchdown. Dylan Wright with a 25-yard catch from Tanner Morgan. But late in the first half, I thought there were 2 key stops by your defense, and I know you were talking about third down defense, and it proved out in the second half and throughout the game. Minnesota is not a third and long team, and if you can get them behind the chains, you got a pretty good chance at them. Into the first half, when it could have been a 28-3 halftime lead, and their very first drive of the second half, it was 1, 2, 3 and done. And I thought that was really the change of your defense right there at the end of the first half.
Yeah, and again, it's just the opportunity third down, the 28-yard pass from Tanner Morgan that you're talking about to go 14-3 is 3rd and 11 and a half. Right. Yeah. And again, they've got a one-man route in the boundary and we're in cover 2. It should be defended fairly easily, and it was one of the easier touchdowns you ever see. So again, the difference was us just got to execute. Like we got off the field the last drive of the first half. We got them to third down. We were getting them to third down. We were getting them in positions where you had a chance to get off the field. And you got it. They're a team that likes to just kind of stay out there and methodically move it. And then we got the stop before the half, which was critical because if it was 28-3 there, not probably the same outcome. And then obviously in the second half, we got to get stops. You're down 3 scores. You can't afford putting more points on the board, and we came out and got a really nice stop. And again, the third down coverage is better. The third down pass rush it all works together. Like we had no rush in the first half, we had no coverage in the first half. Well, that's usually how it is. Yeah. If the coverage is there and allows the rush time, the rush has to get home. And then the first drive in the second half, you saw it. He dropped back, looked at his first option. We took away his first option. Next thing you know, you got Dom and Kimpler and Cam and Lonnie out there. They're going to get home. Yeah. If you give them some time, they're going to get home. And they got home and got a big sack. And not only do we get a stop, but we push them and create some decent field position for our offense.
You do indeed. 21-3 is the halftime score. We'll come back and talk about that second half in just a moment on RedHawk Football Weekly.
RedHawk Football Weekly is brought to you in part by Courtyard Marriott in Hamilton. Located in the heart of Butler County and only 13 miles from Miami University, the Courtyard Marriott in Hamilton is the ideal location when traveling to the Miami campus. With modern style and spacious guest rooms, journey to relaxation at the Courtyard Marriott, a proud partner of Miami Athletics. And by Rumpke. RedHawk fans, Miami is proud to partner with Rumpke Waste and Recycling to keep our campus clean and green. Make sure you recycle your bottles and cans when you come to the game, and make sure you are recycling everything you can at home. Visit rumpke.com.
And we are back, RedHawk Football Weekly, for the Minnesota week, getting ready for Long Island University this Saturday, the home opener at Yager Stadium, 3:30 kickoff. Myself and Terry Bridge on the air on the Miami Sports Network from Van Wagner at 2:30 on Saturday afternoon. Make sure you get to the ticket office, download your tickets, put them on your Apple Wallet or Google Pay. Everything digital this year as far as tickets, parking passes, and Miami University is cashless, so bring your credit or debit card for concessions. As we recap the Minnesota game, second half, Coach Chuck Martin rejoins me, and Coach, 21-3, and again, we talked about the difference in this second half, and you stop them on that first drive, and you know, Tanner Morgan gets sacked for an 8-yard loss by Lonnie Phelps. Your drive starts on your own 41, and you go right down the field. Kenny Tracy catches a pass. You used a lot of different guys and used a lot of the running backs in your wideout positions on Saturday as well.
Yeah, we really think we got a talented running back group.
Yeah.
A lot of them are younger, particularly with Tyree and Bester still not back yet. And they can run, they can block, they can catch. So trying to use them in different roles, spread the ball around. A lot of different guys caught balls on the day. Just in general in our offense, we use multiple tight ends. We use plenty of wideouts. So put together a really nice drive. The defense answers the bell again, like you said, a good stop before the first half, a really good stop and a momentum builder when we get the sack on third down coming out of the locker room. Create a decent field position for offense. Offense has to answer and get, as we said, we got to get a stop and a score, and then offense answers, and it's 21-10, and you could feel right then the game, our kids saying, yes, we're going to do this right now. We're going to put our foot down and keep getting stops, keep scoring, and we're going to come back and try to win this football
Jack
game.
Sorensen had just a great touchdown grab on that drive, 26 yards, and a typical Jack catch, because I thought it was going to be picked, and somehow Sorensen comes in there and gets it.
Yeah, really good route. Did a good job holding his line. Brett did a good job of putting the ball in a really good spot away from the defense. And Jack held the guy off long enough and then jumped up and caught the ball. So, again, you play a Big Ten team, just like we talked against Cincinnati, you're not going to get wide open.
Right. You're
going to have to make contested plays. You're going to have to make good throws to guys and put the ball in spots away from the defense, and receivers going to have to go get the football. You're not going to come to Big Ten venue and just run by everybody, and that's not how it works. So that's the perfect example of making the contested play that we needed.
Yeah, and again, Minnesota gets the ball back. It's not a 1-2-3 drive, but first time you get them on third down and long, you convert and force the punt and come right back and score again as Graham Nicholson kicks his second field goal, this one from 45.
Yeah, and again, another defense answering again, 21-10. We're starting to get our confidence going, starting to build some momentum, and we get another nice stop in offense again. Do we get 7? No, but we kept it going. Now all of a sudden we're to a 1-score game. It's 21-13. We're within 8 points. We're within a touchdown, a 2-point conversion. Again, drove it good enough. Good job by Graham getting. Those are 2 huge field goals. If we come back and win this game, the field goal when it's 21-3 isn't a big deal. But these are points that keep. Now you're within 1 score.
Yeah, and again, after the score, it's 21-13, and we'll go to the fourth quarter. Miami on the drive as they move down to within the 32-yard line, and a couple of plays in that drive. I'm trying to make sure that I have the right drive here. That you use A.J. Mayer on third down, pick up a nice first down, and and get some things done that way for you.
Yeah, A.J. came in one of the third quarter drives. He was a little battered and bruised after Cincinnati game. Maybe that watched A.J. compete against Cincinnati. He took a number of hits, and he was pretty sore. Didn't really practice all week. We didn't know if he was even going to be available for the game, but he's as tough as they come, and he was ready to go. So we used him. We were going to use him in some different situations that we thought we hadn't really practiced a bunch. He came in, he threw a really good go ball down the sidelines, got the ball inside the 5-yard line. Then we hurried up and ran a quarterback sneak that obviously hadn't worked earlier in the game, but and we punched it in, and I think that was a score that actually made it 21-10.
Yeah, 21-10.
And then Brett's pass to Jack was the one that actually made it 21 or put us to 21-19.
So, and again, 21-20 after a score there in the fourth quarter, and all of the momentum going your way. But you're back to within 1. And it really did come down. I think the turning point from the fourth quarter was that kickoff return. And I know exactly what you're talking about, 2 guys on the far side, your side of the football field. And the returner, Trey Potts, fumbled the ball initially and then picked it up. And you see it a lot for whatever reason. Guys lose their lane or whatever. A guy fumbles the ball, they maybe cut inside, and I think that's what's happened.
Yeah, not at all, but it does happen like that. Our coverage is great. Our coverage, everybody's right where they're supposed to be. You can watch the tape. We've got 2 guys. We spilled it just like we wanted to. We have a leverage player. We have an inside player. We had 2 guys unblocked, and he jumped, cut, and got outside the outside defender. So we defended it, and I know I've heard that about 40 times since a game, that when they drop the ball, sometimes it does make a difference, but
Not in this case.
We were, if you watch the tape, we have two guys who are getting ready to hit him at the 21, and we lose leverage on him, and he jumped. And again, Potts is a good player. We knew coming in, he was a good returner, he's a good running back, he's a good receiver. They use him in all different facets. And again, he physically beat us. We weren't trying to lose leverage. We weren't.
Yeah.
He physically beat us on that play and jump cut and got them out of deep in their territory and gave them a little bit of energy, because at that point they had no life on their side. The stadium, we'd suck the air out of the stadium. There's a little section of Miami people, I could hear them loud and clear.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it was, we were probably 5% of the fans, but that's all you could hear was the Miami people were loud and they were cheering, and the rest of the place was dead silent, and that kind of gave them a little bit of energy. And again, it's not one play ever, we know but that was a critical play in the game. And then defense had their chance, offense had their chance. None of the three in their next opportunity when it was 21-20 got the job done.
Well, and I think in that drive after they got the ball at the 47, PJ Fleck said, okay, we're going to run. It was Trey Potts, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Takes it into the end zone, and it's 28-20. They would score again on a Matthew Trickett 50-yard field goal. But again, Miami doesn't give up here. You still have 6:15 to go. Drive the ball down the field, and Brett Gabbert throws a nice pass to Mac Hippenhammer for the 31-26 score.
Yeah, very similar to the one you talked about, Jack, earlier.
Yeah.
Again, good coverage, but Hip held his line, gave Brett the opportunity to have some space outside to throw it. Brett put it in a great spot. Not an easy throw when the guys covered pretty well. And then Hip does a great job of getting free and going up and catching, then turning and getting the end zone, because he's just inside the 5, but he had enough awareness and balance. He didn't just flop down on the 2. He actually turned and kind of lunged into the end zone. So very similar to Jack's touchdown earlier. Just really good route against a good defender, holding your line, being physical, and then a really, really well-thrown ball, and then a really nice finish under duress. And again, gave us a chance. We still had 2 timeouts. They had to get 2 first downs. We had been stopping them the whole half. Besides the preceding drive, I really felt like we knew they were going to run. We were going to be able to load up and stop the run. But they got their 2 first downs and got to take a knee, and we never got another shot at the ball, which was disappointing. But again, put ourselves in position to win it. Again, dug ourselves out of a deep hole. Unfortunately, we had dug the hole. We didn't execute. We didn't get enough done in the first half before we really got going in that third quarter.
31-26 is the final score for Minnesota. Long Island is up next. Coach, what do you – I mean, there were so many positives from this game. I mean, the effort was so much better. You talked about it. So many positives from this game. As you move forward, LIU coming up, how do you build off of those and get ready for Long Island this weekend?
Yeah, it's kind of same that we're this same people every week. We're gonna look at the things we did well and make sure that we keep doing those things well. We're going to look at our strengths as a football team. As you play 2 really good opponents, your strengths and weaknesses show up. That's the beauty of playing quality opponents early like we did. You played Cincinnati and Minnesota in hostile environments. You'll learn a lot about yourselves, and that can really benefit you moving forward. And then you look at the areas that you haven't played as well, whether it's a special teams play, an offense play, defense play, or a certain situation in the game. And then you focus, and like we always say in life, whatever you focus on, you get better at. So you continue to focus on the areas you know you have to improve to become the team you're trying to become. I think we have a lot of good things going on both sides of the ball, and on special teams, there's been tons of players making plays against quality opponents first 2 weeks. We just got to keep worrying about ourselves, keep getting better. And that'll be the focus this week like it is every week. Doesn't matter if we're playing Cincinnati or Long Island. We're going to worry about the things that we need to do well to be the football team we want to be and keep working on those things hard. And if we do those, we'll have a great chance to win this Saturday.
Very good. We'll talk a little bit about Long Island when we come back in just one moment on RedHawk Football Weekly.
RedHawk Football Weekly is brought to you in part by Courtyard Marriott in Hamilton. Located in the heart of Butler County and only 13 miles from Miami University, the Courtyard Marriott in Hamilton is the ideal location when traveling to the Miami campus. With modern style and spacious guest rooms, journey to relaxation at the Courtyard Marriott, a proud partner of Miami Athletics. And by Rumpke. RedHawk fans, Miami is proud to partner with Rumpke Waste and Recycling to keep our campus clean and green. Make sure you recycle your bottles and cans when you come to the game, and make sure you are recycling everything you can at home. Visit Rumpke.com.
Welcome back. Our final segment of Red Hawk Football Weekly. Steve Baker, joined by the head coach of the Miami Redhawks, Chuck Martin. Long Island is the opponent coming up this week at Yager Stadium. 3:30 kickoff. Make sure if you don't have your tickets yet, you get your tickets and join us out at Yager Stadium. So it's supposed to be a partly cloudy, 82 perfect degree day for college football. Get out here, tailgate early, and enjoy the day at Yager Stadium. Coach, Long Island University 0-2, played at West Virginia on Saturday, but a team that you have to take seriously, and as you said in your press conference, they've got athletes, we got athletes, they're going to play, and your team has to show up and play.
Yeah, they've obviously lost two. They lost to Florida International in their opener. That game was closer than the score. Then they lost to West Virginia. That game was about what the score indicated. Mm-hmm. In the FIU game, they really did a good job offensively of possessing the football. All right, they drove the ball continuously. I think they ran almost 80 plays in the game offensively. They had a huge decided advantage in time of possession. That was in part due to how well their offense did at moving the ball and moving the chains. They didn't do a great job of scoring, all right, but they did do a good job of moving the ball. So we know against a team like FIU who has a bunch of good athletes and they can move the ball against them, they can certainly move the ball against us. The FIU game, they gave up big chunk plays defensively. That was also why the time of possession was so skewed. It was partly because FIU's offense did a really good job of getting first downs and staying out there. Part of the Long Island defense that day looked like the first half against Cincinnati for us. Just big plays, big plays, big plays. So they did a better job against West Virginia making them drive the ball, but they've given up a fair amount of points and yards the first 2 weeks. So, but again, they do a lot of different things defensively. They do a lot of different pressures, a lot of different coverages. We're going to have to be on our business. They have good players, and again, if we play well, it's certainly not going to be what we went up against the first 2 weeks. There's no doubt about that from a size, strength, and speed standpoint. But again, we were the smaller, not as fast football team a week ago, and we almost went on the road and found a way to win a game. So we're going to respect everybody. We're certainly going to game plan and prepare just like we do every other week to be the best we can be. But just like every week with us, the focus on us, we're going to work on getting better at the things we need to get better, just like Long Island's going to be working this week on the things that they need to get better to be a better football team. So still early in the year, we're still becoming who we can become, but we'd like to build off the positives of the first 2 weeks and clean up some of the negatives and put together a great performance on Saturday.
Ryan McWood and Andrew Homer didn't play last week. They're going to be out again this week. But the good news is, despite being a little sore yesterday when they went to the training table, everybody came out of the Minnesota game in decent shape. Yeah,
battered and bruised and sore from 2 weeks of really, really awesome battles that we've had. But nothing long-term coming out of it. I don't know if everybody will be practicing on Tuesday, but hopefully we'll have every horse to the starting gate by Saturday. So it was good in terms of that for sure. And particularly, and again, I talked to Luke and even some of the players, like the fact that we came out of these 2 weeks as good as we did is showing just that we are getting bigger, we are getting strong. We're able to absorb the pounding that it takes to play those caliber opponents. And we're coming out of it less. I remember, a few years back we were getting bludgeoned, and there was like a mash. Like you couldn't practice on Tuesday. So just some of our kids, they're sore, just like you expect. But it was you play a team that's going to line up and go toe to toe. They're not a whip it around, and Minnesota's a physical, not just big and strong, but just how they play. They're just going to keep pounding the ball. That's what they do. So it's going to be a knockdown, drag out, and our kids came out of it very well.
Coach, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Bake.
Long Island, the opponent this Saturday at 3:30 at Yager Stadium. 2:30 is airtime on the Miami Sports Network from Van Wagner with myself and Terry Bridge. Join us also up in the Millette West parking lot at 1 o'clock for the Red Zone Report up there as you come out and tailgate and join us at Yager Stadium on Saturday against Long Island. For head coach Chuck Martin, I'm Steve Baker. That's Red Hawk Football Weekly from Van Wagner.